All right, getting down to the end here, the last 50 plus 19. More slabs. Jim Starlin, SF Con. I'll have to talk about that con later. All the great YouTubers I met, people I hung out with, how crazy it was, whatever, how cool it was, crazy cool. 9.6 Secret Wars, graded 9.6, signed by Mike Zeck and Stan Lee. One of my first Stan Lee autographs. That was back in, that was back in 2013. Another brother of mine has this, has a book very similar to this, because it's got a remark by Mike Zeck. My bro, the Amazing Murphinator, has a book similar to this. Yeah, very nice. Remark by Mike Zeck, signed by Mike Zeck, 9.6. Just figured I'd show these off. Why not? My only 9.8. You can see how the old labels, it's like faded. It's not as bright, you know. It's not as dark, the font, all that. Mike Zeck, 9.8. Just got this back too from SF Con. Signed by Jerry Conway in red. It had a Stan Lee autograph on there from 2014. Got a little bump in the grade, 8.5. And the big shout out again goes to Amazing Murphinator for taking care of these books for me and then sending them off to a really great company that Erod also recommended, Erod 212. Shout out to Erod. New York Comics, I believe. New York Comics. They did a fantastic job on these two books. Getting me the Stan Lee label and then adding the John Romita autograph to an already signed Stan Lee. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm so stoked. New NY Comics. This is a great company, man. Great folks. Prices were reasonable in my opinion. Very reasonable. Outstanding prices actually to get John Romita. And this one I put in a request for. I window boxed it, prepped all the book and everything. Murph did a fantastic job taking care of my books, then transporting them, sending them out to NY Comics. And then I left a little note, if it can be signed in blue, that would be fantastic. And there you go. I can't believe I got John Romita to sign it in blue. Because unfortunately, I may not be able to meet John Romita Sr. May not be able to. I don't think he does too many conventions anymore. But if I can meet him one day, that would be fantastic. All right. I think one more and we shall be finished with the 50 plus 19. All right. This is it. Last books of my 50 plus 19. It's kind of tough to come up with. Just scrambling to grab things, try to prep them, stage them. But it's all worth it, man. It's definitely cool to see these comics. I haven't seen, you box them up. I haven't seen them in a while. Still got a lot of work to do with my books to prep them, get them all dialed in based on category and character. But here we go. Some books I figured I'd like to show off. That's a first print, I believe. If I can read correctly. I don't know that did. Actually, yeah, it is a first because the second print's different cover. This, on the other hand, is a third print, but happy to have it, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. It's in really nice shape. Two books I'd love to get the Eastman and Laird to autograph for me and get them graded. I also have a few other issues I should show later. Pick this up from mycomicshop.com. This is actually, I got this like right when that book came out a couple weeks back. I was logging in, taking a look to see the new books coming out, and they made a note of this being, it's their variant edition. It's a variant cover for mycomicshop.com, and I believe at the time I got the last one. I'm really happy with this because anytime you get Galactus on the cover, it's cool. So I'm really happy with that book. Silver Surfer 15, signed by Joe Sinnott. When I met him, when I took a nice trip out to Boston and got to hang out with Amazing Murphinator and meet his family, meet part of his family. Great time. That shall those books shall lead into something else. In fact, I should take them down when we get them out of here. They're great to look at, but got some other books I don't want to lean necessarily up against them. Alright, so the last Silver Surfer. issue number 6. This was like the last issue I just picked up to complete my series of 1 through 18. I like the grade, 7.5 white pages. And this one I like, definitely like it a lot. Silver Surfer number 4, 8.5, beautiful cover. No autographs needed, it's just too beautiful. And yeah, I guess this is it. The creme de la creme, la resistance. So this is one of my first comics ever. I just submitted it at SFCon, Blue Label. I've purchased Blue Labels. Never, in all the books I've submitted, it's always been because I've had autographs on them. So Silver Surfer number 4 was one of the first books I submitted just for a Blue Label. I may do a few more Blue Labels because not everything needs autographs. And then again, not all the books, in my opinion, in my collection need to be slabbed. But I do have a few more I probably wouldn't mind getting slabbed. And I may not have to necessarily get autographs, so I'd go for some Blue Labels. But one of the first books, it was this book and this one here, since this one's all over the place lately. No introduction, obviously. I mean, if you don't know what that is, then maybe you shouldn't be collecting comic books, or, you know, just go back and do a little more research on your comic book collecting. So real happy with this one. Came back a 6.0 Blue Label. This one I'm sure I will crack open and press and clean, and to see if I can get a grade bump on that, because I know it's got a few little minor issues, and if those issues get taken care of, it may help the grade. And for this particular book, it could make a difference. But mostly when I submit these loose books, and you know, I read them, I looked through them, I was real gentle with them. It's fantastic. I'm just glad there's no restoration issues with them. If they came back the purple label, I wouldn't be having this video right now. So that's another situation. But yeah, I mean, that's it for my top 50. One more. Silver Surfer number 2032. A nice cover with done by Joe Sinnott and Ron Frenz. So it's really cool to see Joe Sinnott. I think this may have been some of his recent work. All those books fairly. This book came out in '87, so maybe it's not his recent work. But I'm used to like books from the '60s and '70s. You know, not too many books in the '80s with Joe Sinnott that I've come across. But especially in the Silver Surfer second series run, when I found out Joe Sinnott did this, and there's like out of that series, I believe that's the only book he had done. It's a beautiful cover. I'm starting to go after these and collecting quite a bit. And look, Dr. Doom. So, oh, you want me to cover up the Hulk 181? Yeah, this is what happens when I haven't done a vid in a while. Start talking, right? Good, big congrats goes out to Big E's Comics. I know he's got one. You see it everywhere. It never gets old. This book to me, it just doesn't get old. Big E's was showing his for quite a bit. Been showing a little bit more. He's got a beautiful copy. Also, Manny NYC, congrats. He's got a beautiful copy as well. He just got one recently. So, NY Warriors are cleaning house, man. Those cats don't mess around. Those dudes are just they're racking and stacking. Yeah, those guys don't play. So congrats to those guys for also getting a Hulk 181. Yeah, because the way prices are on these things now, it ain't happening. Not for me. Not dropping that kind of cash on something like this. I was fortunate to get this years ago, and at the time it cost me a pretty penny, but that penny has since then shined and gotten a little cleaner and a little better. I might polish it up and work my way up to a nickel, possible quarter, I'm not sure. Get it cleaned up and we'll see what happens. Appreciate everyone that's been hanging around, maybe waiting, maybe not waiting for me to make another video. It's all good. The top 50 comic book vids woke me up. I figured it's something I should do. And nice save. Love the Silver Surfer, Joe Sinnott, and Dr. Doom. Take care, folks.